Casino was released for the Atari 2600 in 1978. It features 3 card games: Blackjack, Stud Poker, and Poker Solitaire. Blackjack has 2 variations. Game 1 allows 1 or 2 players, and Game 2 allows 1 to 4 players. In both modes, the players will be betting against the dealer, like in a real casino. Depending on where you have the difficulty switch set at, the computer will shuffle after each hand or after 34 cards are dealt. Other variations will determine whether the computer will stay automatically after hitting 17 or 18 points, and whether or not you win after taking 3 hits without busting. You can double down your bets, as well as shell out half your bet for insurance in case the dealer has an ace, and protect your full bet from a possible blackjack. For some reason, you can split your cards in Game 1, but Game 2 doesn't allow card splitting. It's good that it gives you the option to play another variation, but why can you not do it for 3 or 4 players too? If it has something to do with how many sprites can be displayed on the screen, then that's totally understandable, especially since the game came out in only the 2nd year of the console's existence. But it does suck to get a hand that you really want to split but can't. Aside from that, it's just as much fun as any other form of video blackjack on the table. Stud Poker is alright. I pick Texas Hold'em over this form of poker any day of the week, but this is still a decent game. Once again, all the players bet against the dealer. 5 cards are dealt out, and in between each card, players place their bets. Not much else to explain here. Like I said, it's a decent game. Not as good as Hold'em, but it would be impractical to have a multiplayer game with face-down cards. You have to be betting solely against the dealer. The final game is Poker Solitaire, which is an interesting one-player game where you're given 25 cards to place in a 5x5 grid. The cards appear one at a time, and you have to place them where you like before you can see the next one. The objective is to get the best poker hands in the 12 rows, 5 horizontally, 5 vertically, and 2 diagonally. Each winning hand is worth a certain amount of points, and the maximum you can possibly score mathematically is 3,340. It's a pretty cool game, similar to Chinese poker where you have to make a lot of decisions strictly on card placement. You use the paddle controller in Casino, which makes things much smoother than it would have been with a joystick, since you're just rotating between cards and your bet amounts and other decisions, etc. Aside from the card splitting limitation, the other minor issue is the fact that the suits aren't terribly distinguishable. You can tell them apart, you just have to look a little closer than you might like to, so don't assume and end up mixing them up. Could really fuck up your hand if you're playing either of the poker games. This isn't a huge deal though, as long as you're conscientious, and the fact that they're able to get the suits to be remotely distinguishable in the primitive era of the 2600 is actually pretty impressive anyway. Casino was a great form of practice for gamblers at the time. Since then there have been a plethora of video game and online gambling outlets that date the hell out of Atari's Casino, but by itself it's still a pretty good little card simulator.